Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I want to speak to you about something deep, something sacred, a gift not fashioned by human hands, but crafted by the creator of the universe himself. It is the gift of a true soulmate. In a world that often feels cold, divided, and uncertain, there remains a divine promise that somewhere out there, by God's grace, is a heart that beats in rhythm with your own. A love not born merely of chance, but of destiny. A bond that reflects the very love God has for each and every one of us. My friends, the universe, God's handiwork, is not random, and neither is the journey to find the one who was made just for you. Tonight, I invite you to open your heart, lift your eyes to the heavens, and trust that this beautiful gift is already written in your store. In our fast-paced world, we often feel the pressure of time. The ticking clock that urges us to hurry, to accomplish, to find answers, and to make decisions. We live in an age where everything seems to be on a schedule. Relationships, career paths, and even love itself. We map out our lives with plans and timelines, believing that if we check off the right boxes, we'll arrive at the destination we desire. However, when it comes to the search for a soulmate, there's a truth we must come to understand. Divine timing holds more power than human planning. There is a common notion that love is something we can chase, that if we try hard enough, put ourselves out there enough, we'll find the perfect person at the perfect time. But what if I told you that love, the kind that lasts, is not something we chase, but something that finds us at the right moment in the grand design of life? It's easy to get caught in the illusion that we need to hurry. It's easy to feel that the clock is ticking and that the perfect time for love is running out. But the truth is, our understanding of time is limited, and the universe, or for those of faith, God, sees time in a way we cannot. In the Bible, it says, "For everything there is a season and a time for every matter under heaven." This verse serves as a reminder that there is a time for everything. A time to work, a time to rest, a time to laugh, and yes, a time to love. Too often we become so consumed with our own timetable that we forget to trust the natural course of things. We think we should be in a relationship by a certain age or married by a certain stage in life. We set deadlines for ourselves, thinking that love has an expiration date, that there's only a window of opportunity. But love doesn't operate according to human timelines. Divine timing, or what some may call fate or destiny, operates on a much grander scale. It's as if the universe is unfolding exactly as it should, and we are merely players in a story that's already been written. We are taught in scriptures and spiritual teachings to trust that everything happens for a reason and at the right time. We may not always understand it, but there is purpose in the waiting. Think for a moment about your own life. When you look back, can you see how the pieces of your life came together in unexpected ways? Can you see how certain relationships, experiences, and moments happened when you were least expecting them, yet they were exactly what you needed at the time? That is divine timing in action. We live in a world that thrives on immediate gratification. We can have anything at the touch of a button. Food, entertainment, even a date. We often expect love to come as easily as everything else in this instant world. But love that lasts, the love of a true soulmate, is not instantaneous. It is carefully woven into the fabric of your life. And it is in this waiting, in this trust, that we grow the most. Divine timing forces us to surrender control, to release our grip on the future, and trust that what is meant for us will come at the perfect moment. God's timing is not always what we expect, but it is always what we need. There may be seasons of loneliness, seasons of waiting, where it feels like the right person is never going to come. It can be frustrating, disheartening, and sometimes even painful, but it's in those moments that the most growth happens. We are learning patience, we are learning self-love, we are being shaped into the people we are meant to be. People who are capable of receiving the love we so deeply desire. What is meant for you will never pass you by. The right person, your soulmate, is not out of reach. You don't have to force the connection, and you don't have to rush through the process. Let life unfold naturally. Allow yourself to be open to unexpected encounters. Trust that the universe has already aligned everything, and the one who is meant for you will arrive in due time. It's easy to become disheartened when things don't happen on our schedule, but let us be reminded that divine timing is perfect. It doesn't make mistakes. It doesn't operate out of hurry or panic. It works according to a plan much larger than we can comprehend. And when the time is right, when you are ready, when they are ready, the two of you will meet. Your paths will cross, not by chance, but by design. So instead of rushing the process, instead of worrying when it will happen, let go. Trust in divine timing. Believe that love will come when it's meant to, and that in the meantime, you are being prepared to receive it. You are growing into the person who will not only attract your soulmate, but will be ready to fully embrace the love that is waiting for you. The universe knows what it's doing, and it will bring you together at just the right moment, in the perfect way, and at the perfect time. In the pursuit of love, many of us search far and wide, often feeling lost or unsure if we'll ever find that special person who truly understands us. But what if I told you that love, in its truest form, is not just a random occurrence? What if it's not about trying to find someone, but about recognizing a connection that has always been there even before you met? A connection so deep, so familiar, that it feels as though you've known this person your entire life, even if you've only just met them. There is a certain call, a soulful call, that our hearts recognize when we meet the one we are meant to be with. In life, we often find ourselves consumed by the idea that we need to know exactly where we're going, what the future holds, and how we're going to get there. We want certainty, clarity, and a clear roadmap that will guide us to the perfect destination. This is especially true when it comes to love. We envision our ideal partner. We map out the kind of relationship we desire, and we place our trust in a plan that we have carefully crafted. But what if I told you that the most important part of the journey isn't the map we've drawn, but the faith we have in the path itself, even when it feels uncertain? When it comes to love, we are often so focused on the destination, on finding our soulmate, on being in a committed relationship, on reaching that perfect moment, that we forget to enjoy the journey. We forget to trust that the universe or God has already set us on a path that will lead us exactly where we need to go. The most beautiful and meaningful relationships don't happen because we have a clear and precise plan, but because we trust in the unfolding of the journey itself. The journey of love is not linear. It is not a straight line from point A to point B. Instead, it's full of twists and turns, detours, and unexpected stops along the way. It's easy to get frustrated when things don't happen as quickly or as neatly as we'd like. We may feel lost at times, unsure of where we are going, or feel as though we're going in the wrong direction entirely. But these detours are not mistakes. They are part of the divine plan. They are opportunities for growth, self-discovery, and preparation. Each experience, whether it feels positive or painful, is shaping us into the person we are meant to become, the person who will eventually meet their soulmate. It's in these moments of uncertainty that we are called to have faith. Faith that the twists and turns are not detours, but essential steps that will lead us exactly where we need to be. Faith that we are exactly where we are supposed to be, even when it doesn't feel like it. We must trust that our lives are unfolding in a way that will bring us to the people, places, and experiences that will shape us into who we are meant to be. Key is not to rush the journey or force things to happen. The key is to surrender and have faith that everything is unfolding as it should. Think about the times in your life when things didn't go according to plan. You may have thought you were on the wrong path, but in hindsight, you can see how those very moments led you to exactly where you are today. The people you met, the lessons you learned, the challenges you faced. All of these experiences were preparing you for something greater. The journey of love is no different. You may not always understand why things are happening the way they are, but if you trust in the process, you will eventually see how everything fits together in the grand scheme of things. When it comes to relationships, we often feel pressured by society to have everything figured out. We are told that by a certain age we should be in a committed relationship, engaged, married, or settled down. But life doesn't operate on these timelines, and love doesn't follow a set schedule. There is no perfect time to fall in love. It happens when it's meant to. It unfolds as it should. The journey is as important as the destination. And while it may not always feel like it, every step along the way is part of the plan. Instead of focusing on the end result, we must learn to focus on the journey itself. We must learn to trust that every experience, every heartache, every moment of waiting is leading us to exactly where we are meant to be. The person who is meant for us is on their own journey as well. They are going through their own twists and turns, their own detours. And when the time is right, your paths will cross. But this will only happen if we trust in the process. If we have faith in the unfolding of our lives, rather than trying to control or rush through it. Faith in the journey means having patience. It means allowing things to happen naturally rather than trying to force them. It means letting go of the need to control every detail of our lives and trusting that the universe has a plan far greater than anything we could ever imagine. It means embracing uncertainty and knowing that in time, everything will fall into place. We are often taught to focus on the destination, to set goals, to plan, to strive for what we want. But the true magic of life happens when we let go of the need for perfection and embrace the beauty of the journey. The people we meet along the way, the lessons we learn, and the growth we experience all contribute to the person we will become, the person who will one day meet their soulmate. So I encourage you today, as you navigate your own journey, to have faith in the process. Trust that everything you're going through is preparing you for the love that you deserve. Don't worry about the map. Don't worry about when or how it will happen. Just trust that you are on the right path and that everything in its own time will fall into place. The journey is just as important as the destination. And in the end, it is the journey that will bring you to the love you were always meant to find. Love is a powerful force. It transcends time, distance, and circumstance. It is the most profound experience that connects us to each other, to ourselves, and to the Creator. In our search for a true soulmate, we often focus on the idea of a perfect partner, someone who fits our dreams, desires, and ideals. But when we truly understand love in its deepest form, we realize that true love is not about finding someone who meets all our expectations, but about finding someone who reflects the heart of God Himself. At the core of God's love is selflessness, patience, kindness, and unwavering commitment. The love that God has for each one of us is not based on what we can give Him or what we can do for Him. It is unconditional, it is constant, it is pure. And this is the type of love we should seek and offer in return. The love that reflects God's own heart is the love that gives, that nurtures, and that grows, even in the most challenging of circumstances. True love is not perfect. It does not come without challenges, without misunderstandings, or without moments of hardship. But it is a love that is rooted in patience and kindness. It is a love that seeks to build, not tear down. It is a love that is compassionate and forgiving. One that understands that we are all human with our flaws and imperfections. When we look for a soulmate, we must look for someone who embodies these qualities, someone who mirrors the essence of God's love in their actions, words, and heart. The Bible teaches us that God is love. This profound statement is not just a theological truth, but a fundamental reality of how we should understand and experience love in our lives. If God is love, then to experience true love is to experience a glimpse of His divine nature. It is to be in the presence of something sacred, something that reflects His goodness, His mercy, and His grace. When we encounter love that reflects the heart of God, we are reminded of the purity and beauty of the Creator Himself. Love that reflects God's heart does not demand perfection. It is not about finding someone who meets a checklist of qualities. It is about finding someone who is willing to grow with you, to walk alongside you in the journey of life, and to face both the joys and challenges with grace. It is about mutual respect, trust, and a deep commitment to each other's well-being. This kind of love is not about what you can get from the relationship, but what you can give. It is about serving each other, lifting each other up, and helping each other become the best versions of yourself. In the search for a true soulmate, we must remember that we are not only seeking someone who will love us, but someone who will help us love better. We are not looking for someone who will complete us, but someone who will complement us. Someone who will challenge us to grow in love and faith. True love is not about being dependent on another person for happiness or fulfillment. It is about building a partnership that reflects the love of God, where both individuals can flourish and thrive. It is in this kind of love that we find the deepest connection, a bond that transcends physical attraction, common interests, and external circumstances. When we find someone whose love reflects the heart of God, we find someone who will walk with us through the valleys and rejoice with us on the mountaintops. This love is rooted in a deep understanding of who we are and who we are becoming. It is a love that sees beyond the surface, beyond the flaws and imperfections, and chooses to love unconditionally, just as God loves us. In our relationships, we are called to be the hands and feet of God's love. We are called to love as He loves, not out of obligation, but out of a deep, abiding connection to the Creator. When we truly understand that love reflects God's heart, we realize that our relationships are not just about finding happiness or companionship, but about living out the love that God has poured into us and sharing that love with others. We are called to be a reflection of His love in the world, to be a source of light and hope for those around us. The love of a true soulmate is not a fleeting emotion. It is a lasting commitment, a promise to love, honor, and cherish one another through all of life's ups and downs. This is the kind of love that God has for His people. A love that never fails, that never gives up, and that always perseveres. When we find someone whose love mirrors this commitment, we are truly blessed. It is a love that does not seek to control or manipulate, but to build, support, and uplift. True love is not about perfection. It is about growing together, learning together, and becoming more like the love of God every day. It is about showing grace, offering forgiveness, and choosing to love, even when it is hard. It is in this kind of love that we experience the fullness of life and the deepest connection with another human being. A true soulmate is someone who will walk with us on this journey of love, reflecting the heart of God every step of the way. As we reflect on the journey of love, the divine timing, the soul's familiar call, and the love that mirrors God's own heart, we come to understand that a true soulmate is not just a companion, but a divine gift. A person who is meant to walk beside us, share our joys, and help us navigate the challenges of life. Love, in its purest form, is not a destination, but a journey of faith, growth, and mutual respect. It is not something we force or rush, but something we trust to unfold in perfect timing according to God's plan. When we open our hearts to this divine truth, we begin to realize that the path to finding true love is not about seeking perfection, but about finding someone who reflects the love of God. A love that is unconditional, patient, kind, and always forgiving. This kind of love doesn't seek to complete us, but to complement us, challenging us to be the best versions of ourselves. And as we trust in the process, we learn to embrace the beauty of each moment along the way, knowing that in time our hearts will align with the one who is destined to walk with us forever. So, my friends, I encourage you today to have faith in your journey. Trust that divine timing is at work, that the love you seek is already written into your story. Open your heart to the possibility of encountering a soulmate whose love reflects God's heart. A love that will sustain, uplift, and carry you through every season of life. In the end, it is love that connects us all. And it is the love of a true soulmate that will help us understand the deepest truths of who we are and who we are meant to be.